as a principal,
Yes.
we want all our students to be employed.
Correct.
Ultimately.
Correct.
We want them not just employed, you know. There's a say, they say build your resume. But it's no more build your resume, it's build your brand.
Hello Malaysia, hello world. Apa khabar? Our topic for discussion today, Jack of all trade, master of one. I'm Raja Shahrul, your host. The topic for today doesn't say much other than Jack without his Jill. Skills such as entrepreneurship, business psychology, hospitality, design, resilience, communication, proactivity, and leadership, to name a few, are just some of the areas that are essential when facing the challenges of the 21st century job landscape. But it's not always clear how to reach these. Let us hear more from my guest today to elaborate on this topic. Mr. Sri Jayendran, Principal of Sagi College, Kuala Lumpur. Hi Sri, welcome to ECM Talk. Apa khabar?
Hi Raja, thank you so much and I'm doing good. It's an honor to be in your show. Yeah.
Thank you for participating.
Yes, you're most welcome.
Now, relating to the topic, students and workers today are encouraged to master a variety set of skills or discipline of studies. In your opinion, Sri, is it better to be jack of all trades or master of one?
Yeah, before answering that particular question, let's look into the details of like master of one.
Please.
Yeah. You know, like when you look, when you say master of one, what do you mean by master of one? Basically, a student or a graduate, they actually emphasize on one field or one sub-field.
You're right.
You know, and they really specialize in that particular field.
Right.
An example that I can share with you a short story about Rolls-Royce. Okay.
Okay.
Rolls-Royce, there's one person by the name of Mark Cott. Okay, and if you look at the model Rolls-Royce Phantom, and if you notice, there will be a coach line from the front fender up to the back. There'll be 1, 2 fine lines.
Okay.
And that actually is done by this person, Mark Cott, free-handed.
Okay.
You know, and he's the only one in the world who do it.
Just to draw the lines?
Yes, his work is just to draw the lines.
Oh my God.
You know, he is a specialized person.
Okay.
And when you look at this kind of capabilities, you know, skills, and of course you'll being the only one in the world who could do it.
Yeah.
He's really special.
Of course.
And he's highly paid.
Rolls-Royce.
Yes, by Rolls-Royce.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. And he can proudly say, you look at that car, I drew that.
Correct. Correct. Yes.
So you have that, you know, pride, that specialization, and it's good. But what if one day Rolls-Royce decided, okay, I think this design is like obsolete. Probably we don't want that line anymore. What's going to happen to him?
Correct.
His job is redundant.
Right.
You know, and the only thing that he's specialized to do is to draw that line free-handed.
Right.
And once the decision is taken, he's out of job.
Okay.
And looking at current pandemic situation, future is very uncertain.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important for all of us to look into this aspect. So now, on the jack of all trades. So when you look at jack of all trades, another example that I can share with you, Rajab, it's like many years ago people were talking about entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I think by now, dah lapor dah.
Yeah.
Dah lapor.
Nobody talks about it.
Yeah, nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
But this entrepreneurship has revolved into technopreneurship. Yeah, technopreneurship. When you say technopreneurship, it's actually, we are talking about technology and entrepreneurship. So when you look, so that is where the jack of all trades comes in. So you go into technology and also you look into the entrepreneurship part. Right. So you blend them together, you get it in technopreneur.
Okay.
You know, and they even expand further. Like an example, technopreneurship in Asian cuisine. So they're building from an entrepreneur to a technopreneur, and eventually they blend it with the cuisines, you know, like chef and all kind of thing. Another example that I can relate, that recently you had a talk about cloud kitchen.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a very impressive topic, where and that actually resembles this jack of all trade.
Right.
If they just want to focus on you know, just cooking, chef, kitchen, that's it. But they've integrated cloud kitchen.
Right.
So that is where the element of jack of all trade comes in.
Right.
It makes you more relevant.
Right.
You know, in future, you know, and even in current situation.
Into this market.
Yes, into this market. Looking at this, where people are looking into integrating the 9 pillars of IR 4.0. Yeah. So that is the trend now. That is important to make yourself relevant to the current situation and to the current industry.
So it is very much encouraged.
Yes.
For students before going out to the working world to do something more than just what they are studying.
Yes. Like example, let's say they are doing diploma in business.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So they are focused on business only, but they can actually take up 3D printing.
Right.
They can take up 3D printing. They can take up big data.
Correct.
They can take up you know, like another component, which is cybersecurity as well, but not going into the details part of it, but just to extract the fundamental of it.
Okay.
You know, and actually that makes them more relevant. And also, you may ask, why do you need 3D printing for business students? You know, when we think about 3D printing, is all about engineering. You know, but in real fact, it's not. You know, now in the market, you can get a DIY 3D printer, you know, at a cost of few hundred. So when a business graduate are able to pick up these skills, he may end up working in a manufacturing company, because there's a new technology called adhesive manufacturing, smart manufacturing. When they have such skills and knowledge, any students may go into industry, may go into manufacturing line, not just engineering students. You know, that actually opens up the opportunity for various fields of students to go into industry.
So they are more prepared, so to speak. Yeah,
they'll be more
to accept
prepared.
the challenges out there.
Yes, that's true.
How in a way, you being the principal of Sagi College Kuala Lumpur, Sri, how do you think you can promote this idea of, you know, you can say it like multitasking, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, like,
what's your role and your team in order to get the students to have their to encourage them to go into this?
Right. As a principal, we want all our students to be employed.
Correct.
Ultimately.
Correct.
We want them not just employed, you know. There's a say, they say build your resume. But it's no more build your resume, it's build your brand. How you build your brand.
Branding.
Yes, your self-branding.
Correct.
So what we encourage students to do is, don't just take the IT subjects or the business subjects. Okay? Cross-discipline. Okay? Take some other modules, like, you know, they are free electives. They are free to take some designing courses. They can take photography. And they can even take some what they call computing, cloud computing. Okay, fundamentals. App development. You know, when you talk about app development, it's not purely coding, you know. Now with the current technology, it's all about drag and drop. You know, drag and drop. We can actually teach a student, a non-IT student, how to develop a basic app. You know, and make it available in the Apple Store, you know, and also the Google Play. You know, so it's we can go up to that extent to teach them. And also we are introducing 3D printing to all the students. You know, that gives them added value. That builds their brand. And besides that, we have this student representative club, okay, committee, student representative committee. So we are actually grooming them to become the future leader. We are instilling a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, a part of being studying at class and just carry out activity. So we are developing them, and they are spending so much of time being the leader at the college. So we want them to be the ambassador,
Correct.
the brand for SEGI,
Yeah.
the brand for themselves.
Correct. So in other words, Sri, you want them to move out of the classroom.
Yes.
Yeah? You have to go more into the real world working environment, so
Exactly,
to speak,
exactly.
by doing all these that you
Yes,
mentioned.
yes, yes.
Now, how would you market or attract the students to go into this? I know that would be quite a challenge for you and your team.
It is.
isn't
It is very
Yeah.
challenging.
Yeah.
So to address that issue, Raja,
Yeah.
what we are doing is we are actually tying up with companies, with industry partners.
Right,
Okay.
right.
We tied up with Realme recently.
Right.
Okay. And Mami is coming soon.
Oh, good.
We're going to tie up with Mami.
Okay.
And there are a few more other brands, MNC companies that we're
Alright.
tying up.
Okay.
And they have agreed, to share their problems. Like which means we are looking at problem-based learning.
Right.
So they will throw some problems to the students, and our students, like probably one of the modules, it will be integrated as an assignment. So these students will prepare this assignment and
Right.
present to the industry.
Interesting.
So they will have a first-hand experience
Right.
with the company.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
That actually motivates them.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
that actually motivates them, and that creates a continuous engagement between the industry and also the academic side.
Academics, yes, yeah.
All right. So eventually, when the students are performing, they may go there as an intern, and eventually they may
They can be
secure.
absorbed.
Yeah,
They can be absorbed.
They can secure a job there
As an employee.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
that is our pathway. How we want to promote this, how we want to attract the students to be a part of this.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And students themselves, they would see it as a real engagement with the future employers out there.
Yes,
For them
yes.
to be at first hand in handling things.
Yes, Raja.
So to speak, it's just not about pushing papers.
No.
Yeah.
It's about presentation, and we
Yeah.
are also teaching them how to accept rejection. Yeah,
Right.
because in this kind of situation, and when they have multiple skills there, multiple effort being put apart from what they're doing in class, they're doing something extra. When they have rejection, they have to overcome. How they overcome the rejection. It's important for them to learn
Yeah.
how to overcome the rejection
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
instead of being employed later.
Yeah.
So and they can actually select, okay, I think these sets of skills
Yeah.
may not be so relevant to me, or not, it's not my thing, so let me choose another subset of the other field. Coming to that point, IR 4.0 is like completely about robot, IT, codings, and so many other things.
True.
But in this midst of all this, very important thing is relationship between people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is another component.
That goes without saying, yeah.
People may overlook on this component.
True,
Okay,
true.
that is where we are bringing the psychological component of it.
Wow.
Yeah, any students can pick up the psychological component. Even an engineering student,
Right,
okay,
yeah.
they can take 1 or 2 electives on psychology.
Right.
Because they have I think they have 4 main areas in psychology, and one of them is industrial psychology, clinical psychology, school psychology. There are many fields. Like probably they can look into industrial psychology.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
how they can adopt that. An engineering student, you talk about engineering student, they'll be talking to machines. It's
true, true. Yes,
in
yes.
daily life, and probably R&Ds. So, but if they have this kind of skills, it's important for them.
Yes.
To communicate with human, because when you go to the job, real field out there, it's how you convince people, how you communicate with people is the most important.
Correct.
Rather than executing the job.
Yes,
How you
yes.
convince the person.
Yes.
So this psychological part, I feel that's very important.
Yeah.
And we are encouraging students to take up this as well, a part of what we say as a jack of all trades.
Correct. So students, we are the institution don't just see them about getting their paper qualification, but preparing them for their career development.
Exactly.
The after studies.
Yes.
That's what you guys do.
That is what we are doing, and we are even giving them certain recognition. Like for
Right.
example, we are using a platform called Blackboard learning tool. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So in that tool, we are awarding students with certain batches. so they can carry this badge, the electronic badge.
Wow.
So later we are trying to work with some other providers where they can actually export these badges into their resume, integrate into their resumes.
Interesting, yeah.
So they may have like a most entrepreneurial student,
Right.
that badge.
Right.
Most what they call best teamwork, best leader.
Wow.
This kind of small badges that actually can be translated into their resume in future.
This is what you were saying earlier, Suri, about self-branding.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It's not about what they have in
Yep.
terms of their paper qualification,
Right.
but them as a person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we are. That is our ultimate goal, Raja.
Fantastic. Now, looking at today's job demand, Sri, who do you think will be better hire, jack of all trades or master of one?
Okay, the recent survey, a recent forum, World Economic Forum, which was released in October 2020. When you refer to this World Economic Forum, and there will be one section on demanding jobs and decreasing demand in jobs, for the next 5 years. And to my surprise, one of the job that will lose its demand is HR specialist.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all people are looking at every company requires HR.
Right.
But in future, they said HR specialists will be in less demand. Instead of HR specialists, on the other side, increasing demand, they have an organizational development specialist.
Whoa.
See how the revolution of job
Yeah.
from just an HR specialist which going to have a HR degree is going to focus on HR.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of just being that,
Right.
they have actually revolved the the evolution of the job.
Correct.
From HR into organizational development specialist. So that carries more on probably HR, business development, and also the psychological part.
Exactly.
So when you have multiple skills, that is where the demand is going to be.
Right. So the students will eventually come out in a full package.
Yes.
Yeah. Not half baked or half cooked. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all ready. Yeah. Psychologically, physically, mentally, they're all ready.
That's our
Because
intention.
what has happened in the past, Sri, I'm sure you would agree with this. Students used to just go out with their paper qualification.
Yep.
You can have a master's, you can have a double degree or what have you, but the self-branding is not there.
Yeah, self-branding is not there.
Isn't it? This is where they lose out.
They can be a first-class student.
Exactly. Yeah.
But again, if they don't brand themselves properly, if they don't market themselves properly, and they can be just an operator, they'll be in one good position as an engineer or some manager, but
Correct.
they'll be doing a monotonous work.
Right.
Standard work.
Right,
They will not be more. You don't see the energy in them.
True.
Going into other fields, exploring other fields, thinking out of the box. So when we have this multiple discipline, cross-discipline, and multi-skills, we are actually challenging the student to think out of the box.
Right.
Right. And the current job demands requires that.
Requires this. Yeah.
Yes, requires this.
Yeah.
Like a business graduate. Previously, they will just be an admin.
Yeah.
Or executive in a company.
Yeah.
But now they can take up a digital marketing.
Exactly.
Digital marketing role because they pick up social media marketing,
Exactly.
social media essence, on their own.
Yeah.
And we have many people are providing this kind of opportunity, short courses, trainings,
Right.
and also embedded into our syllabus.
Right.
So when they have this kind of elements embedded, they can actually brand themselves, as a social media marketer, digital marketing, And when you look at a business student,
Right.
you may not see the person as a designer,
Right.
but the current requirement is you need to have a basic of graphic designing.
Right.
So we are actually trying our best to equip our students with such skills.
Yeah. Okay, Suri, having said all that, in closing, maybe in just 1 minute, if you can tell us what are the initiatives that your campus have done in producing multi-skilled and future-ready graduates?
Okay, in terms of what this Segi KL is doing as of now to ensure our graduates are employed, are ready to employ.
Correct.
Or we call it industrial ready graduates.
Correct.
Right? So, like I told you initially, IR 4.0 is one of the important components that the future relies on.
Yeah.
So, in view of that, we have actually collaborated with SAS. SAS is one of the leading software solution provider
Okay.
in the world.
Okay.
Okay, so our students, when they do their diploma in computer science, they will have another diploma awarded by SAS, and they will pick up all these the pillars, the important pillars in IR 4.0
yeah.
as a part of their curriculum.
Yeah.
That is where we have embedded,
Yeah.
So they will get a dual diploma,
Right, right.
And besides that, last year we had a collaboration with the CBMTI, which is a spin-off company from University of Malaya, where they are actually working with SEGI to develop a lab, 3D printing lab.
Wow.
Yeah, 3D printing lab, right? And we are also working with other colleges like Subang, Penang. They are also setting up their 3D printing labs as
Okay.
well. So this 3D printing labs is essential for, as a complimentary certificate for all the students. We are getting them to involve in this 3D printing. So these two collaboration is just the beginning.
Right. Right.
Look on what we are doing
Right.
to ensure our graduates are industrial ready, and also we don't want jack of all, jack of all trades. We want them to be master of many,
Many. Okay.
not master of one, master of many. So that is actually what you call a combination between master of one and jack of all trades.
Right.
So the best is master of many.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sri, for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you so much.
And all the very best to SEGI College Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you, Raja. Thank you
I'm
for
sure
having
you'll be
me.
in good hands to have you there and to get things going
Thank you,
to the next
thank
level.
you so much.
Thank you, Sri.
Thank you. Right.
By using what they learn repeatedly and in different personality meaningful ways, students will find it much easier to retain and retrieve what they learn from classroom. It will also help them to better understand the importance of certain skills in their everyday and future lives. This will provide them opportunities to understand real-life situations and with additional skills to prepare them to face the reality of the tough, challenging working world. Once again, thank you, Sri, for coming into our program today. ECMians, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Edu Channel Malaysia. May I take this opportunity to wish all Muslim friends Selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri, Maaf Zahir and Batin. Have a safe and blessed Raya with your loved ones. Until we meet again in our next program, please take care and stay safe everyone. Jumpa lagi.